Happy holidays, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Weekly DLC. I'm one of your hosts, Christmas Karosh, joined always by my co-hosts.
Unmarried Daniel.
And over here we got Mr.
The
Jang.
Grinch Jane. Hubba.
And if you're not familiar with what we do, we come to you each and every Monday with a podcasting services of your choice. Sorry, the little trees in my head.
With podcasting service.
With podcasts of your choice, not really ours. And we come to you Mondays, podcasting service of your choice. And we talk about nerdy stuff usually. We got games, movies, comics, everything in between. And we sit around a table and have some fun. We hope you have fun. It's the holidays. It's December. We can officially get in Christmas mode. Like a month after Starbucks has already
Played a Peanut special song over.
I was going to do that
Over.
next week. Bring the piano back in. Yeah, that's getting old fast. Have you guys been?
Good.
Talk to me.
Wreck-It Ralph.
You saw it?
Yeah.
Did you wreck it?
Twice.
Ooh.
Good movie.
Yeah?
They still did a good job. It's not like those sequels where, you know, they're shitty and you're sad and the first one was still better.
Okay.
They did a good job with this one. I liked it.
Do you see it continuing as a franchise?
I can see it continue going, but it can also stop.
Or do you think Disney's just going to cancel it? Everything else.
Jesus Christ. Rest in peace, Daredevil.
Honestly, it did. I'm pretty sure it did really well in the theaters. I didn't
Better than Venom?
look at the numbers.
Dude, Venom made money.
International.
dude.
Venom
made
is just...
international.
It doesn't matter.
He got shitted on in the U.S.
Doesn't matter.
And
It
in
made money.
America.
No. It made money in the U.S. It didn't get shit on. It got shit on reviews. It made a lot of money in the
I
U.S.
thought it made $25 million in the U.S. International though, it made like 100.
It made a lot in the U.S. It made
It's almost $1 billion.
Yeah.
in international.
International.
Okay.
It's
Still.
800 million. That's fucking impressive.
Not many movies.
Fuck. Yeah,
So,
not a lot of movies make it to the
Wreck-It
billion.
Ralph?
I don't think it's up there.
Okay.
But
It's good though.
It's good. Yeah.
Okay. References were solid.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the references. They did a good job.
Okay.
Dark Web?
Better.
They have the dark web.
You know what's funny?
Ooh.
It's like I know it's totally different stories, but I feel in the same vein that Ready Player One was reference heavy. Wreck-It Ralph, the first one, felt very reference heavy, but just like specific to games. This one is now more in. It sounds like it's more internet. Does it go broader? Or
I would.
is it as broad as what Ready Player One's references were?
No, I don't think so. Like, I feel like Ready Player One tried too hard with references. Like you could tell, and it didn't. Some
Okay,
of
so
them
it's
didn't match
handling.
well. This one handled it very well. A lot of it sprinkled in the background. Like it's not like they're not trying to like in your face like bring a meme to the front, you know, or like like a reference to the front. Like a lot of it's just in the background. Like you're as they're flying through, you're like you see these things like popping up. You're like, oh, there's that. Oh,
Nice.
there's that. And then they'll occasionally bring something forward, but it's not. It doesn't feel forced. So it blends really well together, and it doesn't look like anything. So the writing was really on point.
Okay. Cool.
So yeah.
Anything else?
What else did I do?
Did you do any Black Friday shopping? How was your guys' Thanksgiving?
It was okay.
Yeah.
It's all right.
I don't like spending time with family.
You said that before.
Yeah.
You like to be
Yeah.
in the fortress of solitude.
Yeah. And that, I mean, obviously this forces me not to be
Is
the
it just
fortress.
immediate family for you, or
Everything.
I don't know how far your extended family? Like, do they?
Oh, no. Okay. Like, reunion-wise, it extends pretty far, but okay, like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, family came over, you know, like, not super extended family, but a family came
a
over.
little mix everything.
And, yeah, just, like, one relative already ruins it for me. So.
Okay. All right.
Just one?
Did you get any good sales then?
So I didn't go out to buy anything.
That's
And I was-
amazing.
And I was like,
That's like the way to do
yeah.
it.
And I was like, awesome. And then, you know, Amazon hits. And I bought Kingdom Hearts, the story so far, or the story so far.
Which version is this?
This is the one that has every single game up until 3.
Including the DS one or the Game Boy?
Well,
Advance
it
one?
has
hard one?
6, I believe, 6 games in
Okay,
it. And
cool.
they're all HD remake to be played on the PS4.
Nice. Okay. So you got that.
So I got that. I got Spyro. trilogy with socks. I bought Ready Player One, $10. No, it was
The
It's like
movie?
$5. It was $5.
It was $5.99. Yeah, the movie. What else did I buy? I bought another movie. I don't remember what it was. I bought a microphone, a Rode NTX1, and then I bought I don't know what it's called, like like audio interface. It's not exactly
Not this.
a mixer. Yeah.
Cool.
That was it really.
Okay.
But like the games and the movies was spread out. Like
It
Friday
wasn't all
hit,
one purchase.
I bought one thing on Friday, and then like Saturday I saw another deal that I was interested in. And then like, and it just kept happening. I'm like, fuck, this has got to end. They gotta stop having sales.
Okay.
But yeah, originally I planned not to buy anything at all, and I bought things that I normally would have wanted had I gone out. I'm sorry, I did not buy those things. I bought things that I never would have bought in the first place. I just, for some reason, it just happened. I picked these things up. So my wallet's sad right now.
Did you play any games or anything this week?
I hopped on to... I also bought games on Steam. I bought Divinity...
Original Sin?
Original Sin 2. The Definitive Edition. I had like $10 credit. And on top of that, I bought the rest of it. So I paid $20. I think it was like $29.99.
Okay.
And I paid $20 for it. I think that was it.
Okay. Cool. So are you gonna play? What's next? What's first on that list of games that you want to play?
Probably gonna stream.
You're gonna stream? The Marmalade is back.
Hey.
Cold Marmalade is back. I'm
Wait.
probably gonna be streaming all of everything of Kingdom Hearts. Yeah.
That's a good choice.
Sorry,
That's
so
good advice. That's solid because people are gonna want to watch those kind of streams.
What made you want to go back to streaming? You've opened up another question.
The reason I stopped in the first place is because of headaches. I was taking medication, and I don't know if this is what was causing the headaches. I've since stopped, and I've not had headaches since. And I was insane migraines. Like it was hurting.
Yeah, I remember you telling me.
Yeah, I wouldn't even want to look at screens,
Yeah.
so I would go home and just like lay in bed all day. And so yeah,
It's gone.
it's a thing of the past.
That's good.
So-
I'm glad.
Second follow-up question: Twitch Hollywood?
No, I don't need them.
One more.
Oh damn!
One more.
He
event.
doesn't need them.
Di-
Wait, what happened to the second podcast? You going back to that?
Um,
I can answer that for you. No,
Another
you're not.
follow-up question.
no, but there's a
No more
third-
questions.
There's a third podcast.
Okay. I see. Jane, what have you been up to? Talk to us.
Thanksgiving, went over to my dad's place. I made a video but didn't edit it. My dad, I don't like hanging out with my dad. We just don't get along. But when he came out the house, that guy looked like Morpheus from The Matrix, and I was like, why didn't I fucking record this shit? He had these crazy ass glasses, but I was like, dude,
The red pill.
with his
Your dad's like you're beginning to believe.
with his Gucci watch, I was like, this guy, dude. But
No wonder why you hate him. He swags on you.
and then he comes to you, he's like, "What's up?
swag.
Ligma. Like,
Suck 'em up."
came back home. He lives far, so like I don't want to say what city, but
that's fine.
it's like
It's a drive.
Red Dead Redemption. Like the video title was like my dad lives in Stardew Valley / Red Dead Redemption. It's like fucking cactus and there's no dirt. It's a dirt road getting to his house.
Once you get off the road, it's dirt all the way there.
Right.
So like wherever was it Perfection Valley from Tremors?
But
Okay.
Black Friday shopping online, except I went to Target and just to look around, just to see the damage, and I saw Baby Driver and Wolfenstein 2 for $15.
Nice.
So I was like, all right, I'll never play this.
Are you gonna watch Baby Driver?
Okay, so let me tell you a story, right?
Follow-up question.
I think 2 or 3 years ago, like I always go to Target on Black Friday just to look, and I bought Mad Max. I haven't watched it yet.
This is the latest.
This
Mad
is
Max?
the Charlize Theron with
It's a good-
Tom
that's a
Hardy.
good
I know
movie.
it's a good movie, but I haven't even watched that.
It's a good movie, but I feel like you'll relate more to Baby Driver, and I suggest you watch Baby Driver.
I say Mad Max.
Ooh.
I mean, Baby Driver is great. I just don't think it's Edgar Wright's best. I think what stole a lot of its thunder was the stuff happened shortly after that with the actor Kevin Spacey's life. Like, I think that kind of just like sucked the vacuum out of like any
Maybe
have you ever watched?
I love the movie. It was good.
Hey,
have you ever watched that Vince Vaughn film? I don't know what the name of it is with Kevin Spacey in it, but he plays a bad dude and he plays Santa's brother. And Paul Giamatti plays.
Oh yeah.
Do you remember the scene where
you watched that?
No. It was on TV, so I was just watching it, and then he goes up to Kevin Spacey. You're a creepy dude. Like, I don't know if you remember that. There's a clip in there where he goes to Kevin Spacey. You're creepy. I was like, God damn, they foretold the future. Yeah. But
Kevin Spacey, not Kevin.
Yeah.
What did you say,
Kevin Spacey?
Oh, okay. I'm blanking.
So Black Friday, I wanted to buy a 400 gigabyte memory card, and mission accomplished. Thanks to Wario 64, you're the true MVP.
And now you're down to 282 gigs.
Well, I mean, I was down. I have 100.
The same memory card.
Yeah, I had 128, and I only had like 20 gigs left. So I was like, okay, I need a new memory card. Like, this thing filled up.
A couple of my friends recently got Switches over the holiday, and I was like, keep an eye on, like, if you got it over for Black Friday, go on Cyber Monday, look for memory cards, because even I know most of them are not like us, where they don't get as many games as we do or digital games as much as we do. I was like, just get like even a decent one, like a 128. It's like $20, $30 or something. So I was trying to advise them.
I mean, the transfer process it took some time, but it wasn't hard.
It's just boom, drag, drop.
Yeah. Bought some clothes. I bought something else.
Some
sunglasses. Oh, I bought Mario Rabbids. It was on sale.
Yeah, it's
like
cheap.
really cheap. I was like, "Fuck."
Was it the full package and everything?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's great.
Yeah.
That's a great.
It was like
deal.
$20-something.
Fantastic deal.
I don't know. Okay.
It is.
I don't think it's a full package.
Oh, then maybe
it's
not.
still a fantastic deal.
Yeah, it's still.
But it would have been even more if it had that.
Does Nintendo even have bundled deal? Like,
I think there's like a definitive thing.
There is one, yeah.
Okay.
And I think that's it. I don't close.
Did you stream?
Movies?
Oh, I started Dark Souls 3. So I stopped playing Red Dead 2. I'm not feeling it. I'm just not. I don't know. I feel like I'm a Dark Souls type of player.
Hey, I heard it on stream though. Dark Souls is a better game than Bloodborne. Oh no, harder game than Bloodborne.
Okay, yeah. Fuck, dude. Okay, wait. I take it back. Okay, this is what the normal enemies are fucking hard on Dark Souls 3. Bosses are harder in Bloodborne. Bosses are easy in Dark Souls 3. Like, it's just like, holy shit. Like, I tried. My goal is to beat it in one try. And sometimes it takes 1 to 4. But fuck, dude. The normal enemies are tough and they fuck you up.
I think you'll get to a point where I think you'll have a tough time with certain bosses.
Probably. Dark Souls 3, dude.
So you're back streaming?
Not really. I've been like tired, dude. So I've just been chilling.
When can people expect your kamikaze?
Oh my god. I didn't edit worth shit. I'm gonna try to edit it next fucking I'm gonna actually just fucking put myself on Friday and just fucking work on that thing.
Friday after VGAs.
Because the DesignerCon video is not doing too well. Sad.
Okay. Anything else?
No, that's it.
For me, what am I up to?
Got a list?
I didn't
checking
write a
it
list.
twice?
I just
Gotta find out.
Jingle. I looked at my Switch. Finished the story in Pokemon. I got all 151 Pokemon.
Disappointed.
Nice.
I thought you were gonna say the RPG one you've been playing.
I did play some Pokemon too.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, a little bit.
The RPG. Oh, Octopath?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was on my to-do list. I didn't do it. I was like, Pokemon. I gotta play Pokemon. I've already put 25 hours in this game. I was like, if I put that much time into any of these other games in my backlog, they'd be done.
Monster Hunter.
I know. So I've been playing Pokemon. I'm trying to remember what happened this past weekend.
Thanksgiving?
We had 3 Thanksgivings.
God
Fucking,
damn.
it was like a gauntlet. Survived all with like maintaining my weight. I was like, oh, thank God.
No extra pound added.
I was like, I'm lucky if I just come out even. I'm not even gonna go for like trying to drop. So we came out even, had dinner with her family, watched Crazy Rich Asians. It was okay. I don't really care for it, but it had some funny moments. I never heard the term before. It was banana or Twinkie. It's saying you're yellow on the outside but white on the inside for like an American raised or born.
That's funny. They have things. I mean, obviously, like we've heard the term like whitewashed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was interesting. I know it's based on a book, and Katie's read the book, so I was like, oh, okay, I guess we're watching this. Then watched some TV.
Just a side note, I haven't read or watched a book, but you know those characters in Crazy Rich Asians? My friend, he knows Crazy Rich Asians, and he said those characters, there are people that are like that in real life.
I've met.
I was
like it's not. I know it was focusing primarily on an Asian family and culture. A lot of them translates to Iranian family, and I could relate to
like
a lot of those things.
Rich mother.
Yeah, and judgmental, criticizing life decisions, all that stuff. I was like, yep.
Check.
Then I watched this show on Netflix called Big Mouth.
Oh yeah.
Have you heard of it?
Animated?
Yeah, it's animated. It's fucking dirty as fuck. It is hilarious. Like it's as long as if you're into that stuff.
If you've liked it, I recommend F is for Family as well.
Okay, is that the Bill Burr one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh.
I'll give that one.
He was on Hot Ones.
Mm-hmm. I saw it.
I'll have to give that one after try after Big Mouth. But like I watched 8 episodes in one sitting. I was just like, I'm laughing, I'm tearing up. I don't know, just the jokes that so what it is, it's a show on Netflix about kids going through puberty, boys and girls in like middle school, I think, and all the different things that are like people go through in puberty, but like with the dirtiest adult jokes you can think. And so when they hit puberty, a monster shows up to them like a ghost and like talks to them, and it's the hormone monster. And like he says everything you're like thinking or want, like potential. Like it's like it explains. It's hilarious. I love it so much. Maya Rudolph is like the female hormone monster. Some of these other guys I've recognized in the other things they've done. Yeah, it's cracking me up.
And the only reason I recommend it is I have seen neither of them, but the coworker that watches F is for Family at work said if you like this, I recommend also
Big Mouth.
Big Mouth, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll check it out. So I've been watching that. Played Pokemon. Destiny just ended its last season 4, I think, and now it's 3 or 4. I don't know. It's ended a season and it started a new season, and then they announced like what this season. It seems like they're changing they're shifting their business model a little bit, so it's much more like season focused, much like Fortnite and some of these.
So
other
pretty
ones.
much no more DLC.
It's blended, I think. Like they're doing an annual pass, which makes me think of like a battle pass, and it's like you're not like if you bought Forsaken, you get all this stuff from these upcoming seasons. But if you have the annual pass, it's not like just for the season; it's for the whole year.
Yeah.
And you're gonna get additional items you can pick up or quests you can pick up because of that. So I'm like, it's their version of like whatever Fortnite's doing, except the base game is not free.
Is Titan Walk broken?
Titan Walk or the strafe thing? You heard about it?
I was watching Summit 1G and he's very critical about. He was talking about
Everyone's
Destiny, and he said like they need to fix that. I won't go back to.
It's not okay. People blow a lot of shit out of proportion. It's not as bad as you think, but it's like the thing is, you either need to know what you're doing,
but
to make it happen.
Summit 1G is really good at FPSs.
Okay,
like he's godlike.
Then I think on his level, I can understand a concern, but I think on an average player's level, it's not as a critical an issue. Is what I'm trying to say. But yeah, it's like a thing where with a Titan, the way they jump, they can strafe, and if you time it correctly, which is
You can fly, essentially.
you're essentially just hovering across the map. It's to the point now where if you do it, you can skate. It's Titan skating. That's what it is. If you do it right now, you go so fast that if you go into a wall, you kill yourself. What people will do though on PC, and it's largely a PC issue, is they macro it to the wheel.
That's probably what it is.
And then you just like wheel and you're just fucking skating. There was a controversy about it because there was a speedrunning community and there was a Discord, and it was an unspoken rule that no Titan skating is allowed. but there was no official ruling on it. And then this team got the record speed run for a raid
for skating.
And they showed the thing. They're like, no, you skated, you can't. It's like, where does it say that you can't skate? Like, no one said that. If it was said, then we would understand. And what added to that drama was the current record holders was on the board of like the speedrunning community, and it felt like it was kind of like a personal jab, like
Yeah.
And I was like, that's stupid.
You know, it's also unspoken rule to not teabag people. I'm just saying, though.
Anyways. Yeah, watched that. Played Pokemon a lot. I've been enjoying it. I'm now at the end game, and I'm trying to figure out what I want to do. I want to find online, like, just Discords or communities where they're doing tournaments and just start battling. I know it's not going to be as heavy as, like, the Sun and Moon competitively, but I feel like there's some there. They don't have EV training. It's AV. It's very different. And, like... It's more accessible, but at the same time, it's just a different approach altogether.
So EV training was essentially something you did with, what did it stand for?
Effort values.
Okay, and what is AV?
AV, I don't know what that is.
Okay.
That's new.
IVs.
IV and EV have always been.
Yeah.
IVs are bred in. EVs are things you can do to any Pokemon that you've got.
I believe that's like you breed it, right? Like
No, IVs you're breeding.
Okay.
EV training is I'm picking two stats or whatever combination of stats that I want to it's like doing isolated muscle workouts.
Yeah.
Special attacking speed.
So like if it was
Let's
an
go.
Alakazam, I'd do
Special attack speed.
Yeah.
Or
Timid.
that's like the meta, and then you'd be like, I want to do something different.
Timid,
because
modest.
You can trick people and defense and magic attack or the special
yeah, because
attack.
what people will do is they'll do damage calculators. Be like, if I spec this Kazam, is it even worth specing this
Cerebi?
Kazam to the
Cerebi?
defense or
Cerebi.net?
I think there's like calculators.
No,
but
there was the one on Cerebi.net, and I
Cerebi.
used to just fucking.
all of the time. I'd go there. Yeah, I'm checking that out. I've been watching some Pokemon streaming. It's kind of just like nice to have in the background.
So does there's candy in the game,
Yeah.
like, and not just like rare candy. Like there's
Pokemon
like
candy.
when you catch candy when you catch Pokemon, you get candy that go into specific stats.
That's also so they've replaced like proteins, iron, and
Yeah.
that stuff with those.
But this is unlimited. Like that was like limited to how much you can buy of it.
So now it's like 200 points in every stat.
But
so you
you
can
can-
max out every
so
stat.
you can max everything out.
That's how I understand it. I'm still learning because that goes into the AVs. That's why I'm like they're replacing
Okay,
AVs with.
but is there like, if I were to like, if it's like two Pikachu's going up against each other, is there still a difference if we've maxed everything out according to like?
I don't know.
Okay, that's what I'm, because I feel like that's the point it's gonna get to, where like there has to be a difference where one, it says like its speed is base is faster, and the other one says like it's defense. So therefore,
couldn't
like
tell you.
even though they're the same stats, one would still be faster. I don't know. We'll find out.
Yeah.
So it'll
I would hope so.
Yeah.
It feels like that would be like some oversight. So besides that, I watched a movie as well. Besides playing Destiny, I want to say real quick, the new season. There's this thing going on that was from the last season where a lot of the new like exotic like high level weapons are like triggered by quests or like RNG activities. Not so much RNG of the pickup, but RNG of the quest line.
Mm-hmm.
And there's one for Gambit mode where you have to
Maleficent or
Malfeasance.
I don't know. I don't know if I was playing with you. I think that came out for us one time, but we lost. We didn't even
remember.
touch.
Okay.
Because was it you or no? It might have been Roberto then. Because Roberto, it was a monster we've never seen before.
Yeah, it's a meatball.
And he's like, "What the fuck is that?" And then like we lost. Like immediately as soon as it came out, so I didn't even get a chance to see it.
Yeah.
But I immediately was like, "I think that's the fucking question," and we didn't get it.
Yeah. So what happens is when you do the Gambit mode, you get to the end boss, and the first team that melts the boss wins. And you have to do that 2 rounds. But if there's a random boss that shows up, low RNG before a recent patch, like super rare, like people would do 200 games, wouldn't see it.
Yeah.
And once you see it, you have to be the team that beats it. And what happens a lot of times is you'll be facing a team that's like a coordinated 4-people clan, and they just fucking
So you
annihilate
get it,
you.
but you don't fucking get it.
So you don't get the quest. You just saw it. You're like,
Yeah.
well, there's another 200 games. And they fixed it. They're like, here's a patch. It's going to be appearing more frequently. and then there's a 4-week like escalation to like the game world, and on the 4th week, it's very high frequency. The current week right now that we're recording is the high frequency one.
Let's do it.
I did it.
I fucking hate you. I'll do it on my own.
Well, the thing was, I wasn't going for it.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I'll say what happened was this new season now has a bunch more. Like, so last season had this thing where there were 2 really sought after like quests for Crucible, and it's very grindy. It's like it'll take you most of the season or a very dedicated amount of time to do all these tiers, like 200 kills, then 200 precision kills, then double kills, and then a bunch of, and then ranking up your rank in PvP.
Mm-hmm.
Those are still, your progress will continue on those, except for the rank part that resets. They added more quests this season similar to that, but to other modes. So there's like one specific to strikes, one specific to Gambit, a couple more specific.
Is the Gambit you have to pick up from the Gambit dude?
Yeah.
I have
All of them are just like, there's a token. The thing that's dumb about some of these is the past ones were account wide, your progress. Some of these are character specific. It's like, why did you do that? Like, I'm stuck playing whatever character I'm.
Yeah, I have to kill 1,000 of these guys with this one character.
Yeah. And I was like, I'll just work on the Gambit one because why not? And because it was the easiest. It was like, just do matches and get kills with auto rifles. I'm like, I can do that.
Especially with the horror story.
Well, I was using Horror Story, and then someone was on Reddit was like, use Sweet Business, the Gatling gun.
Oh, shit.
Fucking racking kills up left and right. I'm just like,
Yeah.
Anyway, so I'm doing that, and all of a sudden, the meatballs showed up, and I had to second glance at it. I was like, wait. Oh, shit.
You're like the shiny hunters, where you're like, is that a shiny? Is that a
Yeah, it was 100% like that. And I was like, how are we even doing? Because all night I've been losing. I was like, fuck, this is just stupid. Clan, force. This one we were close. And I was like, what do we do? Just fucking, I got to just melt. I don't have any super. I can't go on offense. And because if you take out enemies, their health bar goes up. So I was like, I just got to play aggressive on this thing and shoot it with everything I have and not die. And we get it down and they get it down. And I kid you not, I can't see how much health we have when they beat it. And I was like, no! I didn't know it was the high week, though, at that point.
So
I was just like,
rare shit.
I was telling one of my coworkers, like, dude, I saw it, and it got away. And he's like, it's the high week. I was like, oh, all right. Was still pissed off, but okay. So I tried it again, and this next time, we just started seeing it, and they already beaten it. I was like, whatever.
Wow,
fuck.
so you got it 3 times?
Well, I got it, this was another day.
Right, but I mean, still,
So then the third time... Yeah,
played Gambit quite a bit.
I know,
and I've never seen it.
It was amazing to me. I was like, I've seen it more this week than ever.
So with the Roberto thing, I think it was the first time I played Gambit on PS4, and we saw it.
Yeah.
And this was obviously before this patch.
Yeah.
PC, I've never seen it once, and I played a shit ton of Gambit on PC.
Okay. So I saw it the third time, and we were significantly better too. But we were like, let's not get careless, because they started catching up because they were like, we're gonna start sending over shit. We're gonna start harassing you. And I was like, seeing people die. I was like, no.
Oh, they shot everything.
I was like, please do not let us die. I was like, I'm going to their side. I had a grenade launcher, and I just see them we were pretty even, and they got a bunch of kills on us. And I just start grenade launching. I just see the health going up. I'm like, fucking teammates, just kill this thing while I hold them off. And we did it. I was like,
is it that one that follows people? That grenade launcher?
No, it's play of the game.
Okay.
And I was just lobbing them. They were all grouped up. I was like, fucking just die.
I think it's called the Conduit.
I know that one.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, dude. It's a lifesaver. I just, the same thing. I blindly shoot, but it lands and it just goes towards someone. And it's just like, boom, 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 boom. I'm like,
that's fucking awesome.
Got him.
And then the funny thing was, the match ended, we won, and it was the game-winning match, or the game-winning round.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been so rare to get drops of exotic level after Forsaken's come out, and I got an exotic drop of a gun I've never seen before.
Oh, nice.
It was the rocket launcher.
Is that a rare one?
Yeah, it's the rocket launcher that shoots 2 rounds for 1 round.
But did you dab?
Oh, shit.
I did. I was like, suckama.
Double dab.
Double dab. Now to the last thing. On Sunday, I was like, this weekend I'm seeing one movie, and I knew Wreck-It Ralph was out, but Katie and I were like, we'll see it maybe in next weekend. I was like, okay, in that case, I am for sure seeing Creed 2. Movie of the year for me.
Nice.
It's a personal bias, but it was amazing.
I have to watch the first one before I watch the second one.
I would recommend that.
That's watch Rocky.
You've never watched Rocky?
No, the remake one. The new
Balboa.
Yeah, Balboa.
You don't need to see that one. I mean, I would say just watch the motivational scene. There's a scene that's just very inspirational.
Just watch the
I've seen that scene
Rest of it's
with his son.
There you go. That cutscene. That's all you need.
That's all you need. I don't know. I was really like Ryan Coogler wasn't writing or directing, so I was like, oh, okay, temper my expectations, but it's a boxing movie. I'll have fun still. Rocky's there, everyone's there. I'm like, it's gonna have the charm, but I don't know if it'll be as high a caliber a story.
Mm-hmm.
It fucking like on every area that I was like thinking, I'm like, they're gonna deliver for sure on this. They delivered, and then they gave me like an extra, like just like that is. They took it and they were like, let's not just like give you what you expect. Let's give you what you expect plus some added depth and layers of stuff.
Was the touch glove scene cool?
Yeah. It like
Put your gloves up.
The amount of like it just amazes me because like it felt like it was a boxing movie and I would have been 100% okay if there was not a single boxing scene in the movie. Which to me is like I love those scenes, and it's a franchise built on it. But there was so much drama and so much story being told between Rocky, between Creed, Adonis Creed, between Drago's family, and everything going. Like I was not expecting any sort of story there. It blew me away.
Bridget Nielsen in it?
Who's that one?
She was the wife in Rocky 4.
I don't want to spoil anything. I don't want to say
Drago's wife.
I don't want to say whether she's in it or not in it. But they address things regarding Drago and whether or not she's in it, and his son, and the state of where he left things after Rocky 4.
And then we find out that Rocky is no longer going to be Rocky anymore.
Well, they left it. They're like,
no, but like
I know in the tweet. Or the
yeah,
Instagram, but
real life.
He could still like Miyazaki's retired from Studio Ghibli like 8 times, so I'll believe it. Like years from now. But yeah, it was such a great movie. I loved it. If you enjoy boxing, if you enjoy the Rocky franchise.
If you enjoy boxing, I recommend Megalobox.
I'm in the mood for that now.
Joe Rogan got really triggered or pissed off about what Adonis Creed, Michael B. Jordan said.
What did he say?
He said, oh yeah, I could take out Roy Jones Jr.
In the movie?
No, in real life boxing.
Oh, okay.
And Joe Rogan he went on a 20-minute rant.
Whatever. I mean, Joe Rogan talks for like 3 hours at a time, so I feel like he could talk for. Yeah, he could talk. The movie though, great, good story, fantastic. I cried 3 times at least.
Only?
I was like, fucking stop. Like,
who's cutting onions right now?
Stop it. No, it was good. I got emotional. I was like, I can't think of a movie that made me this emotional
I
all
think
year.
Just because you said that, I think I can kind of predict what happens.
Okay.
Like
Now,
I think the
You
same.
said that about God of War, and I still want you to play that fucking game.
So the scene, you know how in like
And
Rocky
he's gonna
4,
ruin it for me.
Drago kills
He's
Creed.
gonna call it. And he's gonna ruin it.
I think
What scene?
Drago kills Creed, Apollo Creed.
Okay.
I think there's a situation like that where he can kill his son, and he doesn't. Or it's in a bad Drago's son's in a bad situation.
Again, it's better than what you think. It's better than what you think.
All right.
With the scenes that got you emotional, is there a scene where like someone's becoming empowered and you're just like, I could do that too, and like you just get emotional, or
What do you mean empowered?
like
Montage, workout montage.
The montage was pretty good. They have a montage. It was solid. That wasn't when I got emotional.
okay,
It was like
I just like the Rocky 4 where Drago's
Oh, that was one of the
high
best.
tech, and then like Rocky's like
Cashing in the
Natural.
fucking woods. Yeah.
chopping wood.
No, this like the emotional scenes are just like like for me at least. There's been Rocky.
Yeah.
He was young. He meets his first love. Rocky 2, he meets he goes to the friendship. Rocky 3, he loses his coach. Rocky 4, he faces Russia. He loses his friend. and just that progression of this character and essentially this actor's life.
Okay.
I feel very closely like tied to like where he's been, and it's just like Creed to hit on a few notes too. I was like, man, this character's been through a lot, and now this son is coming, and he's been through a lot just because of what he's lacked in his life and the struggles he's had because of that, and it's all because of these interlocked stories and stuff and relationships. This one dealt with those, but also dealt with struggles of like the next things. It's like Creed struggling with like, okay, I'm not just out there facing things. I'm facing things that could end my career potentially. What does that like? You feel that? What does that mean? Do you have a girl? You have a mother? You have a friend? You have people in your life? Like it kind of hit that more so in a real way. It didn't hit it in like a super dramatic like, oh, we could have lost you, and then he recovers next day. He's like, oh, I'll tough it out. Like it felt real. Like all the emotions felt authentic and solid, and I was like, everything's just hitting in a very natural way, and I like that. I very much appreciated that. So that was good. And then just everything that like so I enjoyed it. Anyway, let's get to topics.
Yeah.
Who wants to start?
I can volunteer.
Go for it.
All right. So my topic was just, do you guys think privacy will be a thing of the past? Will we have privacy in the future? I can start.
Go for it. I have thoughts on it, and I'm just trying to like compress them.
I think we'll have levels of privacy where even like you would consider like no private or full privacy. There's still no privacy there either. I think when you're out in public, regardless of whether you're in a secluded area or not, I think public privacy like that will be gone. I think there'll just always be eyes on us out in public.
Yeah.
When you're in your house, I don't think visual privacy. I think that'll be something you have, but I think there's always things listening, and that goes with like, having a microphone or because we're getting all these things like Alexa, and I'm not to say that I believe those things are listening to us now. I understand that it has technology it has, it doesn't use any power until it hears the word Alexa, and then it turns on, so it's not actively listening.
To our knowledge.
Well, I guess, essentially to our knowledge. But it's things like that can slowly change and like twist out of our control, essentially. So I think, I do think that privacy is going to be dead.
I think it's already gone.
I agree.
I think publicly though is when it'll be much more. That's to come yet.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like right now, you see people like I've seen people do this. They have laptops with cameras on them. They tape over it.
Yeah.
Because they're like, someone could easily just be like watching me right now or hacking into me or whatever.
cover
like your Alexas or your whatever devices like that you have at your home and be like, oh, tell me this, tell me that. Easily could be programmed to be like, okay, just listen to everything like that people say in private conversations. These are like, how much are they tracking? Like your texts, like if you're not going out of your way to do a VPN, to do an encrypted message, to do X, Y, and Z.
The thing is, I don't think Google's
your fingerprints, your face locks. Like,
Google's not trying to hide it. Like they have their.
I'm not talking about Google. I'm talking about
No,
apps you download that require all that stuff that get it as a side effect. It's like, hey, send this, or we need to like tell you where your movies are at. So tell us what your location is. And it's like, oh, while I'm doing that, you're sending that information to 18 advertisement companies.
Yeah.
And
like that's already gotten, like you've heard stories of like Target sending out a targeted ad to a girl for like diapers and like baby stuff.
Yeah.
And it was on the news where a parent got mad. They're like, Target, why are you sending this to my daughter? And it was all in the algorithm. Like it was seeing what the daughter was searching, and apparently the daughter knew she was pregnant, so she was searching to see like how to take care of a baby. And Target picked this up and was like, here's advertisement for baby stuff. And the parent found out through Target that her daughter's pregnant.
Wow.
Like that's crazy, dude.
Yeah,
like that advertisement knows more than like a parent does, or like, that's insane.
It freaks me out. I do this thing, Google rewards surveys.
Yeah, me too.
And it's scary how, like, as soon as I'm leaving a store, it'll be like, hey, reward popped up. I'm like, what's the reward? It's like, were you just at GameStop? I was like, the fuck? A week ago. Maybe.
You're lying to it then. The point of it
It
is
still knows it, though. Like, it's like I'm walking out, and it's like, one of these 5 places, were you at it? I was like, motherfucker, one of them is there. I'm going to check other things. And I'm like...
What's funny, too, is
it's
like...
just that testament.
I have them, too, and there's times where, like, they'll send you something like that, and, like, all 4 of them was like, I've never been to any of these. None. And, like, have you had that? Where none of the locations...
I've had some of that, too.
Yeah,
I think they're trying to filter out.
Yeah, they're trying to see, like, is this guy lying to us or not? Because they had a... when you first start that app, like, when you first get it, one of the first few questions is a question to see if you're lying or not. And if you choose incorrectly, they just stop sending you tests and stuff like that. So I think they constantly do that little by little to make sure that you're not doing so.
I still send them to me. So, the other thing I was going to talk about, this is all just informational technology related stuff, but I feel like socially, I feel like we're slowly getting to a point where there's no privacy and it's becoming acceptable, whether we like it or not. It's like people that would normally not have any interaction with someone across the country are sending out tweets of like their just most honest thoughts, and for better or worse. And then it's just being shared on a global level and escalated on a level, because then that person could be like, you see what this guy just said? Retweet, and it's like, look at what he thinks, and this represents this demographic or this, and it gets blown up into these larger things, and it's like, holy shit, like that was just like, if that was just in a conversation at a bar, it would not have had the same effect as it has now. And I think these are like loudspeakers that we now have. And then people are live streaming themselves 10 to 12 hours a day. It's just like, when are they on, when are they off, like as a personality? At what point is it just they're the same? But
with like Twitter and like live streaming yourself, that's an active thing that you're doing.
But people are like willingly doing it, is what I'm saying.
Right,
it's
right.
like everyone's like, oh, I should be recording myself all the time. I should be Instagram living this. And I should be, I'm like, you're just sharing, like, you could easily, like, if someone wanted, I think about it for myself. I'm like, if someone wanted to find me, like, if they saw these 4 things in this, they could easily just like.
Yeah.
That's why I was bringing up Google. Google has, essentially, Google's constantly tracking your phone, at least if you have an Android. And they're not quiet about it. Like, they let you know, like, yes, we're doing this, and you can turn it off if you want to. I've left mine on, which is perfectly fine.
But do you believe it?
No, it's there. Like, you can actually go, like, I can go.
I'm saying, do you believe that when you say I want it off, it really is off?
Oh, I don't know. Like,
I'm at a point where I don't believe any of it.
Yeah. I think it probably is still there because when you use it, like, for GPS, I don't think there's just, like, for them, there's no way not to see it, you know, like, and they'll probably still save that. But when you're not currently using your GPS, maybe it's, off. Or they could just, it's still on 24/7 for all I know. I've left mine on. I think stuff like that is fine. I think what I hope for is if I ever get lost or, like, someone steals my body or I get fucking stolen or whatever, they find me. Yeah, they get kidnapped. I get stolen.
Amber Alert.
They'll find me through the phone. No, I don't know. I don't know why I choose to leave it on, but I think it's cool. Like, occasionally I'll go on and you just see, like, literally back and forth from work, like, in my house. That's it. Like, that's all I ever do. And then occasionally one all the way to here to do the podcast and then right back, you know? So it looks like a penis. No, I'm just kidding.
Jay, what do you think?
We have no privacy. 2 words. Patriot Act. Ever since I know it's for terrorist attacks, but the government can do whatever they.
You think that's when it started?
I don't know. now we're going to the conspiracy theory.
I'm curious. Like, what
I think
you feel like that's the big proponent.
Maybe
of, like,
they've done it before, and now that gives them the excuse after 9/11. They're like, "Hey, we're gonna actually announce it that we're doing this."
Opened up more doors, maybe.
Yeah, the government, and I think, like, as we progress, there's gonna be more cameras everywhere. Government is gonna look at things, and
I think we're at a point now where it's still transitionary, or it's still evolving, I should say. But technology was so much more free and wild. Like you look at like I'm gonna relate it to E-Bombs World and like Newgrounds days. It felt like the Wild West. Like you could do anything. People in the government weren't privy to like what could be done with this technology. Now you see what they're privy to it. They're like, oh, we could do all of our ads through this. Let's just send people algorithms and ads and all that. Like people still do penny savers in newspapers.
Yeah.
And you get those, but I think this like they're hitting people on a whole nother level now, much more efficiently than they did back when like E-Bombs World and that stuff. And I'm like, they know how to take advantage of it now. And like they can sneak in stuff, they can come at us face value, like, hey, we saw you search for these 3 things. And I'm like, I don't know. It's crazy because I'm like, sometimes I want to be more on, I think of social media as a big part of it. It's like the privacy thing.
Yeah.
Of what I let people in. Like, I know this stuff, this is all stuff that it's like, it's happening whether or not, like, I'd have to go through very strenuous measures to like prevent as much of it as possible. But the other aspect of it is what I volunteer. Like, when I share a picture or when I want to share a thought or a post or a location, it's like, I'm sharing a part of my private life. And why do I want to do that or not? You know, with people that I don't know. Why is this public or why is that? You know, why am I doing that? Like psychologically, are we getting geared to a point where it's like you want to do that? Like I was saying with the streaming and the that stuff, people are like, this is great. Because people are thinking like, oh, you're playing games for a living. That's amazing. I love playing games. But when you play it 12 hours a day, 5 days, 6 days a week maybe.
When you play for these fucking kids.
When you play games, you're like, I don't want to play this game anymore. You're like, am I playing games for fun anymore?
Yeah.
Like, I'm scared about getting swatted or raided.
Yeah.
Because
that's a real thing.
Like,
yeah.
So we went to eat ramen and we both posted a picture. I didn't post a location because I'm really paranoid. Like, I will post a location if I know I'm out of the location now. I won't post it if I'm still around the area. I'm paranoid because people have threatened to raid or SWAT. Yeah. I had to call FBI on a viewer once.
There was a court case about that where someone got killed.
Yeah.
Because of a false raid call or something like that, right? It was for streaming?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It was, I believe 2 people got indicted. It was the person that they were playing with at the time. He called someone to SWAT, and then so that person got, and then the person who originally called him got it.
And stuff happened, and yeah, it's just crazy. That's all from privacy or lack thereof. I don't know. It's crazy. It's just the world we live in now.
Yeah, I'm a lot more careful when it comes to location.
I'm not. So when it comes to volunteering, my privacy life.
See, you're not, but if someone threatened you if you were streaming, it kind of changes your
like, right. Wait, like I was just referring because he says like, you know, we're getting geared towards that. I don't necessarily like. I find it very difficult, and I think this is just like something that just like my anxiety is the issue with this. I find it difficult to share my life, but it's not because I have a fear of sharing my life. I feel like my life isn't good enough to share is the issue. I have urges to share. Like I do wish I could do or maybe think of a picture that I could take better to share. So if I was like that, I think I would be more active in sharing my private life. But that's not the case, and so I do it very little. I'm not.
So
very
do you
active.
think other people sharing their lives is sharing privacy or not having as much privacy in their lives is affecting you whether or not you want to share your private life at that point? Like if I'm taking Jang and I out of this, but let's say you're hanging out with 2 other people and their lives are fucking glamorous, and they're always telling you about all these intimate details of their lives, and they're like, "Oh, it's so amazing. This is challenging," and you're like, "Fuck, like my life sucks." Like I'm not saying you, but like let's say like compared to that, like I would be thinking, I'm like compared to that, like I have not got my shit together, and then I'd be more timid, or there's a potential you could be like I might be timid to share. Like that's what I'm thinking could happen in situations.
I think I'm just timid to share.
As you see, like vloggers, I think there was a post about this. It's like vloggers share only certain moments of their lives, but it makes you feel like that's their everyday aspect.
So you think that they're very happy, and then like internally they're probably depressed and like.
But then it gives this perception to people like my life isn't like that.
Yeah.
So I have this
I don't have that. Like I don't compare myself to other people. I just wish I mean, it's weird. It's like it's. I would like to share my privacy life more, but I don't know how, I guess. And I don't compare myself to other people. I don't see someone's picture, I'm like, dang, like I should go there and do that too. Like share my picture there too. I just like in my day-to-day.
I don't mean share that there. I mean like if someone posts an amazing picture of their thing and you're like, my picture didn't look.
No, I don't compare myself
that's
like
not
that.
how?
No. I just
then
like
I don't get how yours.
like when I so like today specifically, we ate ramen, or we went to a ramen spot. I took a picture of my food.
Okay.
I didn't feel like I took a good enough picture of my food. I still shared it, but I'm not gonna get up, take like an hour to take the shot.
Yeah. Don't be those people that.
Yeah, exactly.
Delete the photos.
Exactly. So there are moments where I'm in a spot. There's a moment where I'm in a spot where like if I take a nice picture, I think it would be really nice to share, but I don't want to go through the effort of like making myself look like a fool and like
I think you just
getting
should
on my
not
knees
care about
and
what
getting,
other people think.
You just what's the difference between that one and this one? Because you posted this one, even though you had that.
Yeah. I don't think it's good enough picture. I posted it.
But you still posted it.
Right.
So what's stopping you then is what I'm wondering. Like, I'm not getting the difference. Because you're getting the same feeling.
I'm not.
You're saying it's not good enough.
Yeah.
But you posted this one.
Right.
Why not that one?
Because I didn't take that one. I took this one.
So you don't even take the photo. You don't get to that point.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I'll be like, this is a nice moment to share, and then move on.
Okay.
And I won't take that picture.
Okay, I understand now.
This one.
I thought you'd take a photo and then be like, this isn't it.
Oh, no. I don't know.
Okay.
Like, literally, most of my shots are like, I took that one shot and that's it. Whether it's good or not, I still post it. Like, the moment I take a picture, I'm just sharing it.
All I'm saying is next week, when you take a picture with Pokimane, you got to post it. Hey!
But, like, I don't know. I think weird. I think differently.
That's fine. I was just trying to understand it.
Don't understand me.
No, I
You'll get stuck in my
misunderstood
head.
your explanation of it. Not so much I didn't understand your reason.
I don't know. I find it hard to explain.
You explained it. It was just I didn't realize that you don't take the photo.
Yeah, I still don't think I did it. I explained it in a good way, but
it's okay. We're in a simulation. Doesn't matter. You'll get it right in the next simulation.
Final thought on this is I do agree with you guys. I think privacy is going away, but I don't think we're fully there yet. And I think in the future we will be in a position where we will have zero privacy.
What about your thoughts? Like, do you feel? I don't know if this is even privacy.
I can't think of it. I can't think of anything like that because the thing is.
Well, I mean, what I'm gonna ask is, do you feel more reserved or like more reluctant to share your personal thoughts on something versus less reluctant? Are you more or less reluctant to share personal thoughts?
I'm less reluctant. Like, I get weird thoughts, and I know these are not thoughts I should be sharing, so I don't share those thoughts. But then I also have like, if I'm in a situation where like I don't agree with it, or I think like something's someone isn't understanding something that's going on, I like don't even try to stop myself. I will just like try to explain something, and I sometimes come off as like really rude. It's a point where like I didn't need to do that, but like I felt like it had to be done, so I'll say something like that. But when it comes to privacy, I don't think I filter myself. Like I don't. It doesn't stop me very often, I guess.
Any final thoughts?
I do have one, but it opens up a
It
opens up a whole can of worms. Okay, you know the whole
open that can.
It's kind of like Minority Report, right? So like you know how like people will, like Casey Anthony, for example, she She got acquitted for murdering her baby, but
is insane.
she was on her Google search, she was typing in how to make a baby like fall asleep or something, or chlorophyll and the effects of like a baby. Like, do you think in the future, if someone types something like that, it'll be like a Minority Report, like, hey, this guy just searched for this thing, we're gonna have to go check him out, or her. Like, because people do search for weird, like, and they get acquitted for like murder. Like,
like today I searched the word orgy.
Chatterbait.
I looked up once, and this was a bad mistake because of these stupid algorithms. This is taking it into a silly direction. My friend was like, dude, look up cum recipes.
Oh,
shit.
And it was a cookbook, and all of them use like
That
cum or semen as an ingredient in the recipe. Next thing I know, hey, you might like all these other things on Amazon. I was like, fuck, I share my Amazon with my family.
You can delete.
I did. I was like, not interested, not interested, not interested, not interested. I was like, why didn't we do this on your computer, asshole?
Got him.
Yeah, that's what. I mean, I'm glad they didn't look at like, fuck, get this guy.
Or your dad makes something. Hey, I made something.
That's a crazy thought, and I can't.
I think it would have to take several, like,
I know
we're going through a lot of like what goes into gun laws right now with like what could have been done. What did this person do in the past?
They do it for terrorism.
Yeah.
So will they take it for other?
So they
what I'm saying is,
people.
I think that it's gonna take a few like traumatic incidences where they're like, why didn't we do this? Like some people are gonna start saying, why didn't we do this? We see this or that sort of thing, and then after like several of those, it'll get some traction. But
what I can say though is that'll happen where like they see what you're searching for and get you that way before they know what you're thinking and get you that way.
Minority Report.
But yeah, like I know that they pinpoint people, and then they'll obviously
assess.
Yeah, they'll assess that person and see everything that they're doing. Or at least to the best that they can. But yeah, I don't think that they're doing it to just everyone, or obviously.
Well, I know they're doing it for all these recent shootings, but I'm thinking about like crime. I don't think they do it for crime. Like if I were to search how to make a baby sleep through chlorophyll, like I don't think
I don't think they have the bodies to do like
that's true.
Resources and stuff. You thinking like how many places would do something with that sort of?
I think once we're a simulation, the computers will do it.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, next topic. You want me to go? I'll go. Since we're talking on the vibe train, I don't know. This feels like a very like soulful. Like your topic felt very like close home. Talk another
Soul Train.
I'm gonna just say words, and eventually it's gonna make sense. I don't know. I started questioning recently whether or not I'm as good an influence as I'd want to be to those around me, and I just was like, oh, that could be a good topic question. It's like, okay, am I? And if I'm not, or if I am, why am I or why am I not? What goes into it? Because for a while there was a period where I was like, I always want to be like, I don't want to be like, stay away from that kid. Like when I growing up, I don't think I was ever the kid that was like, stay away from that kid. He's a bad influence. At least to the parents' knowledge.
Yeah.
I wasn't that kid.
Cum recipes.
See, that was my friend. My friend did that.
Yeah, he's a bad influence.
Stay away from him.
Yeah. No, and so I don't know. There's been a few times where I'm like, did I steer them in the right? Like, I feel partially responsible for some things, or I feel like I had a hand to play in something, or I could have, or whatever. And I'm like, should I have done, or did I, sway them in a direction? I don't know. I thought I'd ask you guys as well. Do you guys have thoughts on this?
So whether I've influenced someone in a good or bad way.
Do you feel like, yeah?
So I have a lot of my friends talk to me, and I think they don't ask for advice, but I think they're talking to me to seek advice. I have a few friends that specifically, like, when shit happens, they'll let me know, and I'm like, this is fucking heavy, dude. Like, and they'll be
heavy?
like...
What's this word heavy? Something wrong with the Earth's gravitational pull in the future?
And I'll be like, what do you, like... I don't know. I just start
They
talking to them.
they wait for some sort of direction by you.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
Like, and so I'll just kind of say my opinion. Like, I put myself in that situation, and I'll tell them essentially what I think I would do in that situation. You know, like
And
if something happens. I mean, they continue to talk to me, and they continue to tell me these heavy things.
I mean, but to your knowledge, at least, do you feel like learn or something that helped out or something in the positive, or do you feel like?
I think it's been positive.
Okay.
Because some of these issues, it's like if you don't get over it, like you're not going to be in a good point in your life.
But do you talk to him with a Texas accent? Well, I'm Dr. Phil.
No, but yeah, like it's. I don't think they'd be happy if I didn't do, or at least if that conversation that I had with them didn't go well, or at least within like there's a time frame. Obviously, after I've talked to them, I can't just be like for the rest of their life. You know?
Yeah.
But like, I would say like the next day if I talk to them again, and I can't say for sure because people have fronts. They'll able to hide things.
I mean,
you know?
again, to your knowledge.
Yeah, but to my knowledge, I think I've
cool.
positively affected him.
Cool.
Yeah.
Do you ever feel like you've played a hand in the negative way?
I think in a workplace environment, not like with friends.
Really?
But I'm very I'm evil in a sense when it comes to workplace environment. So
just workplace?
Yeah, pretty much. See, that's the thing. Like, I don't feel like I've influenced anyone.
Recipes. I baked you something.
I feel like you have one that I can't think of, but I mess around, obviously.
I know.
But
I'm just teasing.
You know what's a bad influence? Someone telling us to buy a game and we play it once.
He knows what I'm talking about. Not about you, I meant.
I was talking about Monster Hunter Generation.
I know.
No, like at work, you know, I've been there for quite a while now, and people see me as like
a bad hombre.
No. They think, well, yeah, essentially, they think I'm like higher up, and they're like, so when I make a decision, it's because I have knowledge of how the company works, and I know like it's fine to do this. But they'll be like, oh no, it's because you have the power. That's why you're fine. Like that's why you can do it. And I'm like, no, dude, like it's
don't hate.
Yeah, it's like it's easy. Just do it this way.
How's that being a bad?
So no, well, they think that I have this power essentially. A lot of my like.
Do you use that to your advantage?
So there's times where I'll be like, you should do this, you know, and it's not like obviously like related to the work they're doing, but it's in context to how they should talk to certain people, and then I create like, I don't know,
drama.
Yeah, essentially. But it sounds bad when I say it like this.
You don't have to talk about that one.
It's not. No.
I
the
meant
thing
more
is,
like, okay, I was thinking more, and this is an example.
like
Your friend's like wasted, and you're like, one more drink is gonna put him over the edge. But you're like, come on, have a fucking drink.
No, F that.
Like, I'm using it as an example.
No,
but like
I know.
Something like if someone's like, I'm gonna eat 15 rolls of sushi to get like a plate and a toy. My friend who can't do that I should be like, no, you should stop.
So with that specific situation, I did say
I
to stop.
I know.
But I think in most of those contexts, I would tell people like don't continue certain things. Okay. I think the only thing I would ever urge someone on would be like spicy food challenges. I think that's where I'd be like, you can do it, you can keep going. But like quantities of food or like alcohol or anything like that, I don't know. Like it's just I would stop people. I'd be like, you shouldn't. There's no reason to go from blackout to blackout and unconscious.
Blackout.
To black ops.
To black ops.
Okay. Jang, what do you think?
I feel like not anymore. I feel like I was a bad influence.
Really?
When it comes to like, I don't know. It's how I used to, even strangers, I would just go up to people or like friends. I'd be like, dude, you guys should do YouTube. Like, you should make a YouTube. You're passionate about one subject. And I used to tell people, like, even my friends, like, dude, just make a YouTube channel about it. Me now would not tell people to do that because, like, it's not for everyone. Like you gotta love to do it. Like, streaming.
But was that because you knew now, or because like
I don't know. I felt like I was like a Gary Vaynerchuk. Like, dude, there's an opportunity to be made. No, not money, but
I know,
like,
but you didn't do it with malicious
No,
intent.
not
you were
with malicious.
like, I believe in you.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
can do this. Now
Yeah.
you're like, I've seen the hardships and the difficulties, and you're coming at it with new perspective.
Right. Like,
So you weren't
one of my
evil.
viewers, like he always asks me what equipment should I get. I know he doesn't make a lot of money, and I told him like I have this camera, and he bought the same camera, and I just like, I think, he does listen. I mean, like, he's gonna surpass me though, viewer wise. So I guess it is successful for him, but it's just like I have this kind of not a lot of influence, but I do have some influence, and I just don't want to steer people in the wrong direction. I feel like now I'll only tell people to do YouTube if they're very passionate about it. If you don't want to make videos, like I know a couple streamers that have quit, like, and I feel bad because I felt like I was kind of responsible, or they saw me and they're like, oh shit, like, I mean, I don't get that many views, like it's not that much.
I think the thing is you don't have malicious intent, and the issue is like there's people that you're influencing now on just what you say, and you're worried that like you can put someone in a bad position by saying like, hey, this $1,000 camera is really good, and they'll be like,
I mean,
that's why I don't say my PC specs. I mean, to be honest, I don't really know. I mean, I know like the basics, but I don't know like which.
well, one thing I struggle with is like, at what point do you feel accountable, and what point do you not? Like, that's a line. There's a line to be drawn, because it's like that person is a for most part, the people I'm talking about interacting with are all consenting, grown individual adults that are like, are not consenting. I mean, like, I'm not like, I don't have any swear. I'm not roofing their drinks, or I'm not like giving them a hallucinogen to like, okay, now I'm gonna hypnotize you and tell you how to do this stuff. I'm talking about like, I'm using my words to tell you about something that I like, or you should maybe try, and suggesting something, and whether or not you do it, your willpower, discipline, whatever you want to say. Like, at what point do you say you're another adult, you should have been able to figure this out, versus being like, man, I feel like I steered them in a direction, or kind of like put the sails that way or whatever. Because like I've had times where I'm like, yeah, like I know we've done it with you bring up the Monster Hunter Gen thing. That's happened with a few other people too.
But the thing is when you originally.
We did not know that the Messenger was going to be as good as it was.
No, right. That's the thing is you didn't give us that advice with malicious intent. You wanted us to all play together, and with this way it could be portable. It's just like obviously something else.
This is where it's like a struggle, because I know I don't go in with malicious intent with any of this.
Yeah, it's the same thing with me.
It ends up like with sometimes negative results to some people, where I'm like, hey, let's play this game, and I'm like, I'm fine dropping $50-$60 on a game, and my friends like. I learn later they're like, I want to play 1 or 2 games and like play them for the rest of the year, and then after like a week or two I'm like, hey, let's play this other game now. He's like, what? We're still playing this? I'm like, I want to play this.
We're still playing Destiny. I'm assuming that's
no, it's not.
Okay.
It was one of the Battlefields that I got once. I was like, hey, let's get Battlefield going with me. Let's get a. And then like a few weeks later I started playing something else, and I was like, I feel like I push them with hype and excitement towards one thing, and then we went in a different direction, and now I'm pushing him to get another thing, and it's like, that's whether or not I want to do that is one thing, but me enticing or making someone feel bad for not wanting to do that, I feel bad for now. I'm like, I made them feel like they were like, I can't keep up, or I don't want to, or whatever. And other cases are like, I'm talking about all these exciting like shows or games or like, I get excited about things and I share that, and then I get other people excited, and I'm like, I don't know, like, they're not seeing it with my lens, and I'm like, I'm gonna play this for this much time, and then I know that I'm done with it. But other people might be like, no, that was the game I was gonna buy, and I had to like set aside resources and do whatever they need to do, or like, hey, let's go eat a burger. And I was like, dude, that was good. We should do good. Like, we kind of with the hot sauce you mentioned. I was like, let's fucking do another one. Let's do another one. And we do it like, oh my God, no, I feel horrible. And it's like, man, why did I do that? I feel like I pushed you to that, you know, that. And the little bit of me always is like, am I a good influence? But on the flip side, I do feel sometimes I am, because I was like, I know a lot of people that are really, I don't want to say wound up, but like, they're much more on the reserved side. And I feel like I open them up. Like, there's been a few times with some of the friends you guys have met where we'll go to conventions and they're timid to like speak to people about like, hey, let's take a photo together, or do whatever it is, like talk, ask a question or someone. And I'm like, here, let's do it. I'll go ask, like see if they want to take a photo, and we do stuff. And I'm like, okay, I'm getting them out of their shell, or you know, I've done that with several friends. I'm like, it's fine. Like, we're all having fun. Like, get excited. Like, don't feel like don't feel ashamed to hide your excitement.
I think in that
I'm like,
sense
open
too,
up, and I'm like,
you've created memories that I think for some of them might have never even occurred. You know, like taking a picture with certain people.
But the part that it becomes hard is I think of those, and I think of the games, like the games and the movies, whatever I mentioned, and I'm like, I feel it's the same energy, and it's hard for me to separate and maybe like break it, like when to do it, when to not do it. Like, it's harder for me, and I was like starting to question, like, hence the topic of like, when do I feel like I'm a good or bad influence in some of these?
I get asked on stream a lot, like if I'm playing Bloodborne, oh, should I get this game? Should I get this game? Like, I don't give them, just because I like it doesn't mean they're gonna like it. So I always give a comparison. Hey, if you like this kind of game, then yes, I would get it. And it's only $20. I try to give them like the pros and cons and like what I like. I mean, I love Animal Crossing, and if someone's like, oh, should I get Animal Crossing? I would try to explain how Animal Crossing, because it's not going to be for everyone.
Well, here's another thing. Do you ever feel like, let's say like you have a bunch of things on your like your wish list or things you want to get or at some point or another, but you're like, I'll hold off, I'll wait. And I keep seeing all these deals. Let's say I'm Wario 64, and I'm always sending you all like, hey, dude, I retweeted it with you. I retweeted to you. Do you feel like I'm being a good, like, I'm like, you wanted these things. I'm showing you they're on sale. Like, there are times where I'm like, how, like, I'm kind of like acting like an advertiser in some ways. Like, I'm making this seem palpable. Like, dude, this is on sale like for 2 days. Like, I think you should get it now.
It's only okay if you're sponsored. And I think you're secretly sponsored by Capcom.
No, my friend. I'll tell you one thing. I think my friends think I'm secretly working for Niantic, because I've said many things about that stuff. And they're like, "You were. What did they tell you this time?" Oh, that's over my thought.
It's funny because I think I'm pretty sure I've been in similar situations where I've helped someone come with a decision that probably didn't end well for that person, but I can't think of any, and I don't think I ever sit down and think about those, or not even just sit down, but like that never crosses my mind, those situations. So I can't think of any, and here you are like weighing those two, and you're
on one side though, there was one friend that once says like, I wish I could make decisions about buying stuff as easily as you. He's like, I'll sit on something for too long. He's like, he's like, I feel like it's a detriment to me because I'll miss out on things. He's like, he's told me this from his perspective. He's like, you see, you act, and you do. And I'm like, yeah, sometimes
good, sometimes for worse.
Sometimes it doesn't help me.
Knack 2, baby.
I didn't get that.
I got it though.
For me, it was I'll never forget
Battleborn
Deluxe Edition
in Monster Hunter Generations.
I still like it.
And Destiny 2
hey,
and Destiny 1.
I've played a lot on all my Destiny purchases.
The thing is, like, what's funny, I think that's where is I get another debate with like prices of game and how much you play, I guess. But I don't know, it's weird. If I were to buy a single player game and play like 10 hours and I felt like it was good, that's fine with me. But then I have Destiny here that I've bought twice, and I still don't feel like I've gotten my money's worth. And I've played more than I probably would have, like, obviously a 10-hour game or something like that. Especially with both, yeah.
It's just funny. Always going to have more content. If anything, it's going to make your money worth more the more content it adds.
If only it worked that way and I can sell it back for more money.
I'm trying to be a good influence.
But my goal is to be an influencer, and I don't want to be like sponsored by companies that I don't want to buy the products myself. Like,
You know what's funny when you told yourself you feel like you're kind of like the Gary Vaynerchuk of
I don't.
of YouTube. No. Well,
No,
you like
back in the
you
day.
just compared it real quick. Yeah. My first thought was like, imagine Gary. Like, he probably influences so many people where a lot of people go the wrong. Like, they go in a path because he suggested it, but then they take wrong turns in that path, and it doesn't turn out good for them. Like, he's probably done this tons of times to people.
That's why I'm like, you got to draw a line at certain point. You just be like, here, I'm putting this out there. You need to understand everything
You
and
can't,
make a decision
you can't put it on
your
yourself.
own.
Yeah, you can't. Like, if I give you that advice, you can't just come back to me and be like, well, I guess
The hard part, though, is
individual
when it's
standpoint.
I feel like when you're coming, when it's friends, it's
Yeah.
harder to make that line because you're like, but I want to be like good friends with you, and I don't want to be a negative influence. And so, like one night we'll be like, dude, let's get like I was with friends. Oh, I forgot to talk about this too. We went and saw a Pokemon movie, The Power of Us.
the one where Pikachu talks.
No,
Oh,
no,
okay.
this is not that one. There's a lot of fan service in this fucking movie. I'm like, this is not for children. But anyway, we were like, hey, let's get dinner, and then we're gonna get like not a frap, but it was like a frappuccino sort of thing, and then we're gonna get popcorn. It's gonna be fucking amazing. It's like I was like, man, I normally
Pikachu tattoos?
I only normally do one of these things, like dinner, popcorn, or that, and now we're doing all of them, and I felt like I had my excitement for all that had a hand to play. Like, okay, I guess we're doing this. And by the end of the movie, or after, we were like, we should all like just go on diets. It's like, I'm on board. Let's do this. Good influence. So,
You have two extremes.
I know it's evil. Dualities.
You can't just like +1. You go +10, and then
That's how-
-10.
It's like min maxing.
You're maxing all the time.
Maxing all day.
No minning though.
Yeah. But okay, yeah, that's my topic.
My topic. So recently, a teaser trailer came out for The Leon King. And there was also like, there was a poll or something about people wanting Back to the Future to be remade. And that caused. So, general consensus for the Lion King trailer, people loved it. Really? What I saw on Twitter. What I saw on Twitter. But
You're right.
that Back to the Future, people hated it. Wow.
It's not gonna happen anyways.
Yeah. Well, you never say never.
It's not gonna happen.
But
Never say never.
what are your opinions on remakes? And also, fucking Cowboy Bebop's getting a live action remake, and
You know what's funny is I mean I guess it's not really funny, but I'm okay with them. I am perfectly fine with them. There are shitty remakes.
okay, wait. Let me rephrase. Remakes to classic, untouchable, near perfection movies.
What's that list?
Forrest Gump.
I mean, that's Lion
Fight
King
Club.
and Back to the Future.
I don't feel like Lion King's untouchable though.
Little Mermaid.
They did because they did a play of
Aladdin.
it or the musical or whatever.
Well,
Aladdin has a
dude,
play.
It's your opinion.
Yeah,
but-
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah,
a lot
yeah.
of this feels.
I think
like
Lion King's is on the upper echelon of Disney films.
It is. I very much agree with that. And when I saw,
That's why I didn't mention Jungle Book, because the Disney one.
It's had 2 remakes,
Like-
right?
it's getting a sequel.
Pinocchio is on the upper echelon. No,
They're making.
they're remaking it.
They're
Guillermo
remaking
del
it.
Toro's.
Yeah.
What?
Yep.
A live
Pinocchio?
action.
Netflix.
Is he
Live
playing Geppetto?
action.
Hideo Kojima's Pinocchio.
Norman Reedus' Pinocchio.
But for classics, like near perfection movies. So we're not gonna put Lion King. We'll say
Sure,
Back
sure.
to the Future.
Samurai 7.
Well, first I want to give you a thought on the Lion King. I saw that. My immediate reaction was because it was so accurate to the frames of the original.
You're like, no, we don't.
Or
need
what if?
all
okay,
I thought of was like, this just makes me want to watch the original.
Or what if they made the Raid the white version? How would you feel?
It's okay to me. The part of the raid that makes it unique is the martial arts. So if it's not on par on that's where I would draw. It's the quality of the product.
Okay.
So if it doesn't capture any sort of like, I know there's there was a Japanese film or a Korean film. I'm not sure.
Old Boy.
Yeah.
Infernal Affairs.
Oh yeah, Chinese.
And then they did. Was it Chinese? Okay. Infernal Affair. It's a really good suspense movie. America, Scorsese did an adaptation of it. Pretty much the plot.
The Departed.
The Departed. And
The
I was
Departed
like,
was fucking amazing, by the way.
and yeah, Departed I enjoyed very much, and I was like, oh, this is a remake or this is an adaptation of that version of the film. I'm like, that's interesting. But then you have like Old Boy versus American Old Boy. It's like
American
Ghost in a Shell versus.
See, that's I think that's why I'm okay with it. Like Old Boy wise, I've not seen the American version. I've only seen the Korean. I think it's Korean.
Yeah,
Korean version.
That's correct.
And personally, I don't feel like I have a need to watch the American version. Like, first of all, that fucking movie's heavy as shit. I don't need to see that shit again. But then when it comes like The Lion King, I'm okay with the remake, and that's a movie I'm probably willing to watch because it's not very heavy.
Are we saying okay with in the sense that we're gonna watch it, or are you saying okay with like I'm okay with this happening?
Both.
I'm taking it as I'm okay with this happening.
Okay, because
regardless.
there's a lot of them that I'm like, I'm not interested in seeing this, but if you know, it raises awareness. Like when I saw Ghost in a Shell.
What's your favorite movie of all time?
That's a tough one. I'm gonna go with
Jingle All the Way.
Turbo Man.
It's a close one. I'll just say Cinderella Man.
What if they remade that?
Cinderella Woman.
With cum recipes.
No.
Yeah, it would bother me, but I wouldn't watch it. Probably like things will happen whether or not I like them happening or not. It's whether or not I want to support them and why or why not. I feel like I saw the RoboCop remake. I had a friend who vehemently was like, "I do not want to support this. I'm not watching this," and I was like, "It was good. It just shouldn't have been called RoboCop."
Is that the one where he's like,
He's
he
black.
has like black armor? Yeah.
Yeah.
I watched it.
To me, it was a different movie. I was like, this had just the bare bones.
See, but that's the thing. Like, there are remakes where I wouldn't consider a remake. It's like, I mean, it is a remake. Like, they're doing that movie over again, but it's not what the original was. Like, and then there's like The Lion King, where at least within the trailer, it's shot for shot, pretty much the exact same thing within that trailer.
Yeah, I think my frustration with a lot of this comes from the reasoning behind it. Like, why are you remaking this? There's a lot of times there's a no. Like, yeah, you're right. There's bigger companies where it's like we just want a cash grab. There's other companies where it's like we did like it's not a remake, but I think of as a reason they went back and touched on was when they did episode 4, 5, 6. They remastered them with new features constantly, like each time. And the first time they did it was like we didn't have this technology when we made it, and it was like shitty or great. So we want to go up and touch those areas up because that was my original vision. I'm like, you're giving me a reason. Whether or not I like it, it's fine. But I like your reasoning has to me a logical.
We haven't heard that reasoning, but why would that? I mean, would you feel the same way if someone said that with Lion King? Where they're like, we didn't have obviously 3D technology, we couldn't make this CG.
I feel like I feel like they're like we would want it as like there's an audience for that, and I'm like, to me, I'm asking myself this question that you're saying, I say there is a magic to the old cartoons, the hand drawn cartoons, and I appreciate that. And for the same, they're not retelling the story in any different way. Like I feel like sometimes it's cool to revisit it from another perspective. It's like, let's take that same story, but let's see it like what it could have been done if it had a darker tone, if it was a different tone, or whatever it is. I guess what they're going to do with this is come at it with a more like heavy, like with a lot of the remasters or live actions that they've done. They're like, we can come at it with a different tone because we have a different cast and different story. Like we can add things that we like. You look at the Beauty and the Beast one. They added some things in there that were like, I didn't even realize there were these undertones in the first one, kind of just like subtly there. They're like, let's hit on them as bigger plot points.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I guess, but I mean, not for me, but I don't know. Lots to take.
Yeah. Well, I think for me, it boils down to censorship. Like I don't want to. Not censorship, but like I think if we were to say like that shouldn't be a thing, it stops us from having good remakes because we'll never know whether something's gonna be good or bad until it's made. I can't just say this Lion King movie is gonna be shit.
When was the last time? Okay, this question for all three of us. When was the last time a remake was better than the original? For you,
Lord of the Rings. The original
cartoon?
The cartoon, yeah.
Okay.
Got 'em. No.
But I mean, it's easy if something's shitty and it's remade and it's better. Then, like, if the original, the first film or remake or first film sucks to begin with, like for example, like Watchmen's going to be remade. The first Zack Snyder, it's all right. It's not that good, you know. So like, if the thing sucks, people feel okay with the remake.
I can't think of one, but going to The Departed, I haven't seen Infernal Affairs or Internal Affairs.
Infernal, I think.
But I've seen The Departed, and I that's a fantastic movie.
What if they remade like Godfather?
I haven't seen Godfather. Oh. I would probably, obviously, depending on like, they could make a remake. I would watch the remake and be like, Godfather's a shitty movie.
More often than not, one of the things I always come back to as one of the essential, like not essential, it's like, what movie's place did this take that could have been an original film? Like I think of that too. I know we're like talking about like these are just there's various reasons for revisiting, for making a good one, for whatever. But a lot of time I'm like, those were original ideas, or at some point, where's the next? Like instead of being like let's continuously going through a nostalgia trip and revisiting the old, why can't we take that energy, pay homage to these things, and make something new? You can love RoboCop and make a movie that's heavily inspired on RoboCop. Just don't call it RoboCop. Like make a new thing that's like
RoboCop
that has hints of Blade Runner, hints of RoboCop. Like there's few. I feel like the opportunities for those to get a high profile spotlight compared to the remakes is fewer and far between.
I agree with you, but I think it gets weird when it comes to like companies and stuff like that. Like specifically with RoboCop. I think that whoever was paying obviously to have RoboCop remade want that name, like they're paying for that as well.
Yeah, it's guaranteed investment.
Exactly. And the director was saying like this is not going to be RoboCop. I want people to understand that, but still people watch the movie comparing it to the original. We're like, this is a shitty ass movie. But the director was trying to say this is its own thing. It's not. Did? Yeah, he wasn't trying to make a remake the same RoboCop. Okay. He wanted to have his own vision with that. Yeah, exactly. But people still compare it.
Yeah.
And there's nothing they can do. Like he has to have that name because the people paying for it want that because it's going to bring money, whether it's a good movie or a bad movie, or whether people will compare it or not compare it. So that's where it just sucks. So that's where I want to say like I personally am okay with remakes because occasionally we'll get shitty ones, occasionally we'll get good ones. I don't want to stop it all. I don't want to say like we should never make remakes because, more often than not we're getting shitty movies.
My opinion is if a movie's like perfection, it doesn't need to be remade. Like Back to the Future, that does not need to be remade.
And my opinion is it's fine if it's remade because you could still watch the original and be okay with that one, and you can either watch this one or not watch it. It doesn't matter. Like it's not hurting you in any way. You still have the original.
Let me make another metaphor. Let's say I can make like the best chocolate cake, not a cum recipe, but the best chocolate cake, right? The best tasting. And I give it to you and feed it to you. And someone wants to remake my recipe, but they can't. You're gonna.
Well, no, I'll try the recipe and be like, I don't like it. I'm gonna go back to watching him remake a cum recipe. You see, that's the thing. I'm willing to try things out. And if it doesn't work that way, I'll move back to what I was doing the first time. If it works out, I'll start doing the new thing instead. I'll start watching the new movie. Okay. And again, like that's. I feel like if we tell it not to, that's like censorship. I don't want that because it stops.
At what point, with more movies, we get older, more movies constantly are coming out. There's only so much time. when do you like? You have to make decisions before you go try these things, not like after you've tried them. Because you're gonna be like, there's 4 movies out, 3 of them are remakes.
Let's say Disney
and one's an original movie.
Disney decides to remake every single one of their movies that they haven't remade already.
They have a list right now.
Exactly. I'm not gonna be like, let me watch every single one if it comes out on one day. I can't do that.
Not on one. I know that. I'm talking about like the rate, like the movies in theaters every week. Every week there's 5 remakes, one or 2 original, 5 remakes. You're gonna still have to be like, I can't watch all of these all the time. I'm gonna have to be like, I'll watch one.
Yeah.
And when do you what? I guess do you prioritize like?
That's the thing. So I'm not gonna put that on myself. That's on the companies releasing these movies. They shouldn't be releasing them so often. First of all, if they want moviegoers to freaking go to every single one of their movies. Yeah, in that sense, like if I had a budget for movies where I can watch one movie a month, I'm gonna choose one. I'm gonna choose one of those movies that I enjoy, even though, let's say like Mad Max. Well, obviously Mad Max is remade. Fight Club is remade. You know, Back to the Future is remade. All these different movies that I like. And then all of a sudden it's like I can only choose one, and these are coming out this month.
I guess what I'm trying to get at is if you, let's say you for a year you see 12 movies and 6 of them are remakes. Let's say 8 of them are remakes, and of those 8, 6 of them were bad.
Right.
You watched those movies. You're like, are you less likely to see more remakes because of that?
I don't
those
think
experiences. So. No.
It's hard to say.
I feel like for me, if I watched, let's say another example. I don't know where I'm not pulling numbers. I'm just like, if I watched a year of remakes and a lot of them were bad, I'd be more reluctant to watch remakes. As a whole. For
me, it's a hard hypothetical because I don't feel like I've been harmed or I haven't I haven't like been done bad by a remake. Like if I've seen one and it's bad, I haven't thought about it, and it's not stopping me from watching a new remake of a different movie. So I as of right now, I would be okay if I watched 12 movies and 6 of those were remakes that were bad. Like it wouldn't harm me as of right, like the way I'm thinking now. But in the future, if like it's constant, it could. I don't know that though, you know. So that's a hard hypothetical for me to answer.
Okay. I don't know, like if something's perfection, like it doesn't need to be like, okay, let's say the PlayStation 5, right? It's perfect console. Microsoft's gonna try to copy the PlayStation 5. I'm not gonna buy Xbox, the next one.
Well,
if it's perfect, like perfection, why would I?
But the thing I think becomes a question of like, it's perfection for you,
right?
This is subjective.
Right.
This is the art side of it. Someone else might be like, well, it was missing something. And they want to or this would be. I'm going on the support of it. I'm like, this is in today's culture. This could resonate with a different like tone or a different vibe or whatever.
The new generation
Xbox.
Or something like that. And I guess that's okay, but I'd want them to add something. Be like, okay, what are you doing in addition? Like, if you're going to take all these plot points, add something to the table. Like, expand on this. Show it from a different perspective. Like, I kind of want to I feel like there's a lot of laziness in the Hollywood industry because of the business side, sometimes even the artists, but more so the like, we got to make this happen, carbon copy, make that happen. Okay. And I'm like, I want them to be like, okay, you're going to do, let's say you're doing Back to the Future, come at it from a different angle. Like, come at it from Biff's point of view.
This is a good example supporting your case. Daredevil season 2, like, there's a death of someone, and the way they did it was different from the comics, and I was like, that's kind of cool. And I wasn't, like, I wanted it to be the original way, but they did it in a different way. I was like,
and you like
it's kind of fresh. It's because it threw me off. Like, I was like, holy shit, okay, I didn't expect it.
So I want to elaborate real quick because I don't feel we have. Would you consider, like, if it's a remake but done, like, in someone else's vision, the way they think it should be told, do you think that's fine? Or would you consider, like let's say, let's bring Back to the Future, because you're saying that's for you as a classic. You don't want that remade. What if someone else makes essentially the same story? Obviously, they have to call it Back to the Future, but it's not following what the first one did. And so it's like Back to the Future, but a whole different story.
It has to be just as good, if
it's
not
called,
better.
Wait, this isn't Back to the Future, but it is Back to the Future? You're saying
it's the same concept. Like so,
so
there's
it's something else.
Exactly, but like, it's told differently. Like it's instead of like
if it's again, a lot like everything we're talking about is I can't
like RoboCop because
Yeah.
RoboCop the first one
for me.
and that second
It'd
one
have to be-
Did you watch the second one, right, or the remake?
Yeah, I
Essentially?
did.
Okay.
I like that it was a different point of view because going to RoboCop real quick, the first ones were from his perspective.
Mm-hmm.
This one was like everyone around him.
Yeah.
He was sort of like he wasn't even the character that followed. It was like the scientists and all these other people. I was like, it's kind of interesting because it makes you feel like more distant from him and all that stuff. I'm like, this didn't even need to be called RoboCop. Like the reason they did that is so they could be like dirtbag and like all the catchphrases.
that for $1.
See, but like that's the thing. Like,
But it'd be circumstantial. I'd be like, okay, what are you adding to it? Oh, is it more? I don't know. Sometimes they'll do it for like, let's get a more, I don't know.
Willy Wonka.
Let's get another demographic involved. Like, let's make this for youths. So let's make it younger. I'm like, I don't care for that. But someone else might be like, that's what it needed. But if it was something that I did find interesting, then I'd be like, okay. I wouldn't be opposed to it. It just have to be the thing that I find interesting. So again, all this is subjective.
But yeah, like I just realized the one Willy Wonka. That's that classic one. I love that one.
I did not like the
I mean, I didn't have any thoughts when they said they're remaking it, and then when I heard Tim Burton, I was like, dude, I'm all for it. Like, let's see what his vision is like. It wasn't very a good vision.
I didn't care for it. People love it though.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, I'm okay. Like, I'm okay that it happened. Like, it could have been a good thing. It could have been a bad thing. It turned out to be a bad thing. I move on to the next thing now. I don't want to censor things. I don't want to, like, if you know,
It's
if
not.
it's
I
his
don't feel like it's censoring though. I feel like it's like you could have spent that energy
on a different
on
movie.
something better.
Yeah, I know what you're saying because
like you take Tim Burton for instance, he could have made it like his original works are great.
Guillermo
he could
del
have made
Toro
an original
had
work.
a tweet that had all of his concepts that he had, and he's like, all these will not happen. Like he's like, these have been all turned down. And he has like, you know, he has one that just says like it's like it was a secret project.
PT.
Then he actually names things out. And he's like, these aren't happening, you know?
Okay.
But there's still movies he's making.
Yeah.
I think it's just something that's just inherent in life. Like it's just gonna happen. Like things will stop other things. It's gonna happen.
But like we're talking about like our thoughts on it. I'm just saying, if I was ahead in those companies, I'd be like, work on this instead of this remake.
But
Give
you're
that
not.
to the new kid.
But you're
You
not.
would, but
and they want to make back.
they-
to the
I know.
Future.
Well, that was the question.
the
is for
other
me.
guys who just
Okay, if
You know
other
what's
guys
funny
did, they
is
could.
I
Yeah,
think
it's all going to be
regardless-
money because all they want, like from a money standpoint, they want guaranteed return on investment.
Right.
And they know that a something that marketed well can be much more easily marketed than a new product and
new
whatever
IPs are
a new
hard.
IP. So there, that's like end of discussion right there.
I think ultimately in business or like in companies that make product for people, it still boils down to like if you live long enough, you know, the hero, you'll become like the villain or whatever. You'll surf the villain. Like Blizzard's one, like when they were even just recently, the people saw them as like they can do no wrong, and now they're coming out with like things that people just they were like I didn't want this. Why is this a thing right now? You know, and I think ultimately it boils down to like the people that were in charge, the people that were making the correct decisions or the decisions they knew gamers would like, no longer have like those decisions they can make, and like they get overpowered by you know, stockholders essentially or all these things. So like you can make a movie making company and make the best movies, and eventually people are gonna be like, you guys are doing really good. Remake The Lion King with your name on it. You know,
or a good example, Venom. Hey, we got a cool character. Make a shitty movie and make money.
I feel like one thing though is interesting is there's such a more polar reaction with films as there is for games. Games are
people love it.
Like remakes get made or reboots or whatever, like revisiting franchises, and it gets better. So a lot of times it's like Control sucked back then or whatever, and people would much rather have. You can always get the nostalgia of those, but I don't know. You see it now, and you're like, okay, God of War got revamped. People loved it. We brought in a twist. Spyro trilogy revamped, much more beautiful Crash Bandicoot sold well. Like it's like interesting. I don't know. The reception isn't as polar as it is with movies.
What's funny too is
maybe it's more people watch movies, or
at least with games, I feel like we were at a point much earlier where we were getting tired of remakes. We were like, I felt gamers were kind of like
remake. Like what?
I can't remember, but it's before like. It's before.
I think what people were getting was like movie to game adaptations. I remember that.
No, so
Those
there
were
were.
I think remakes, there's added value, but bad ports get shitted on of video games. I can't remember one, but there has been.
I don't
one.
know if it was a streak of bad ports, but there was a time where like I felt like there was a lot of remakes happening, and then there was a lot of backlash, and then other remakes are happening, which includes
quality.
like that was like Jack and Dexter, Crash Bandicoot, Last of Us. Things like that were like being released. Well, Last of Us has always had like the PS4 version, but they had the PS3.
Oh,
and it
I
got
see.
moved over to
Shadow Colossus.
Yeah, and Shadow Colossus, like Shadow Colossus was one of the ones that came out when people were starting to like remakes again.
Yeah.
But there was a point before Shadow Colossus where people were like, we got to start making new games. Like we can't just be playing all the old games. And then they started making like remakes that people liked, and there were good remakes. There were like either it was the original game with like updated graphics, like I would say like Shadow Colossus is, or it was actually most of the ones people are okay with are pretty much the base game with updated graphics. Spyro had like a whole revamp thing, but it's still like the concept of the base game is there, and they had to redo everything because I guess they couldn't upgrade the original graphics.
Silent Hill trilogy. Now I remember that was a bad port, and people did not like it.
But yeah, there was a moment where that. So I think, yeah,
Yep, people love it.
I think when
Every time.
when there's a string of good stuff, people will start accepting like an ideology like that. But when it's a string of bad things, people will like.
And I think overall, like what you were saying with the Disney thing, they tried it once. I forget what the first live action one was. Was it Jungle Book?
Yeah,
Maybe, yeah.
I mean, that's the one I remember.
And they just were like, this is what we're doing
And it
with
didn't
all
work.
these. And they're just like, okay, people are enjoying these. Let's keep doing that. Because they felt like, I feel like to them, in their eyes, maybe they'll be like, not only is this, people love these franchises, they'll come back for it, but we're going to come at it with higher level of everything. Like,
So can we get a Little Mermaid?
I think it's in process. It is.
Cool.
Mulan's in the process. A few others are in the process. I saw like the thing I had was not so much their these are like streaming their Disney Plus things. They're gonna do Lady and the Tramp.
You know, once we
three
become
men
Too
and a
soon?
baby.
once the world becomes an enclosure of like
Disney's
satellite
gonna,
connectivity through internet,
Disney's
I
gonna
can't
be-
wait till they make a remake of
Wreck-It Ralph.
Wreck-It Ralph breaks the
Hey,
internet.
Oh.
Disney's gonna get the privacy of us.
3 Men and a Baby.
Oh my god!
Father of the Bride.
Hey, bring
Honey,
back-
I Shrunk the Kids.
Yes, that I want to watch.
You're okay with the remake on that?
It's not perfect. Honey, I Shrunk the Kid's not perfect.
But I would say it's a classic. I wouldn't say it's a 10-10, but it's a classic. And I would assume you would have known.
Bro, I
The
mean,
Parent Trap.
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. The graphics are kind of shitty. Just being honest, you know.
See, so if the quality was bad, then
I mean, it depends.
see that's the thing. Like I would think that they could do a lot better in Back to the Future as well.
What?
With the graphics. There's a scene where like the shark. When I first watched it, that scene was like, holy shit, this is like
think
next
this also-
level shit.
I think this also goes into like what people consider timeless or not. Like to me, episodes 4, 5, and 6 visually is timeless. Like I don't get any sort of like this is ancient or this is old. I have friends that are like
that looks like
this.
shit.
This looks like shit.
Even the Obi-Wan Darth Vader fight,
What's wrong with that fight? What, the sticks?
It doesn't look good.
it's pretty bad.
Imagine, okay, they gave it fucking like parkour everywhere. This one felt like it was more of a mind game. Like that's how I think of it like a samurai duel. It's like the fight is here, and then like in my head it's cooler.
It reminded me of the Tito Ortiz Chuck Liddell fight.
So that's the thing. I don't know. Have you recently watched Back to the Future?
Yeah,
Okay.
to me it holds up, but
No, it holds up, but there
like,
there are
what
scenes
I
where
would be
like
losing.
I can
The
see
thing
like.
is, what I would be losing for what I'm gaining, it's not worth it to me.
But you're not losing anything.
I
You
am.
still have the original to go back to. Even if they remake it, you still have the
I don't
original.
want to support that. I'm not going to see that because I don't think that someone, in my eyes, can replace Christopher Lloyd or Michael J. Fox or Biff.
I would be cool. I would be cool
to
if
me, like why? Like they're gonna.
Yeah, no one could replace them.
I would be okay even with like a
kinda
Big
remake now.
Lebowski.
It's
I
kinda
don't
like-
want anyone to ever touch that.
In The Lion King, James Earl Jones. No one could replace James Earl Jones except James Earl Jones.
Look,
Yeah,
here's an idea.
they realized
wait,
that.
wait,
they
wait.
realized that.
But
okay,
I don't know-
Aladdin.
I don't
Will
know who-
Smith.
Hold on.
I don't know who plays Jeremy Irons, but
Oh, they got he's.
I think Jeremy Irons is irreplaceable.
It's the guy from Doctor Strange, the villain.
I
Or
think.
not the villain. I forget how to say his name.
Jeremy Irons is irreplaceable. His voice, man, irreplaceable.
They got Seth Rogen as Pumbaa, and I'm like, I can't focus with that.
So
Because he's
that's
gonna be like.
so seeing the trailer, the trailer, I was like, it looks good. But then I was like, I don't know how all these voices are gonna match up. Like, I think that might ruin it for me, but we'll see.
The hyenas, Whoopi Goldberg, dude.
Oh yeah.
Anyways, so Back to the Future. Even now, I'd probably be okay with like if they started making a remake. But imagine 10 years in the future. Like, imagine if we have like augmented reality, like fully set up, and they're like, we want to make a movie specifically Back to the Future in this new format. Like, I
Just remaster the original content.
it's not gonna happen.
Why not? They
'Cause
did that with Star Wars. They've touched it up. You're just talking about these.
No,
visuals.
yeah,
They
they
can
touched
touch
it up.
up the original.
I don't think though.
Why
like,
recast it?
Okay, so we have 3D applications now. If you bring something that was made in an analog format and bring it into 3D, it's not going to look as good as if something was made completely in that 3D format. That's how it is now. So I feel like if we were to have augmented reality and bring the
What's
analog,
that adding to this movie?
no, well, nothing. But the idea was like this is what it was going to be like in the future. So it's so cool to make a whole new version with what we would assume would be even further out now with what we have and bring that into augmented reality. I'm just saying like.
I don't feel like
ideas-
I'm changing your mind. I don't feel like you're changing my mind.
Your mind has to be changed.
No, it doesn't.
We won't stop this conversation. I'm just kidding.
And that's it.
This is a bad influence thing on your
How is
topic.
this a bad influence?
I'm being in that bad influence because I
How?
won't stop until you change your mind.
You're persistent.
Yeah.
That's positive. I can spin it.
I don't know. Is there anything else you guys?
No, I mean, there's no right answer in my opinion. It's just what I feel.
Well, there's my right answer and your wrong answer. That's it, I guess.
Okay. Yeah. So that's it for the podcast. We're canceling. No, I'm kidding.
Podcast is officially over.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think it's a neat topic, but again, it's personal perspective. It's all guns personal.
Are you gonna watch Lion King?
No.
But I think if
I
there's more
tried.
people,
I really tried Beauty and the Beast, and I was like, I did not care for this because it was too realistic to the point where it was too dark in the castle. I couldn't see anything. I was like,
You became
turn up the
Daredevil.
brightness.
why do you gotta keep bringing up? There's a fresh wound. Fresh. Oh, speaking, I forgot it to. I watched the Pokemon movie. I gotta say this other thing. I watched that Coen Brothers Netflix movie.
Oh, Buster Scruggs.
It is not a movie. It is a series of short films. It's like 15, 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes.
That's weird.
It like the advertisement threw me off because it makes you think it's all this one.
Are they individual stories?
Yeah. It literally is like a book opens, story one, title, and then it fades to the actual story. Story ends, fades back to book, page turns, news story, and it's like 5 of them.
Black Mirror.
No. It was, none of them were happy. I'll tell you that. So don't go on being like, it's going to be a jolly time.
So Twilight Zone is a classic, but I kind of want to watch the remake. Just because Jordan Peele.
Creative team.
Yeah, I think I have faith in Jordan Peele.
Is there a director that can direct Back to the Future? You'd be okay.
Yeah.
with?
Robert
Del Toro.
Robert Zemeckis.
Zack Snyder. That guy can remake.
See,
any-
look, we can spin the question.
No.
You guys would be fine.
No, Robert Zemeckis is the
Okay,
original
yeah,
director.
You should have started this whole thing instead of arguing with us for 30 minutes. You should be like, what would it take for you to be interested? Like,
Done.
What do I have to put
Okay.
on this table?
Danny DeVito as Doc Brown.
That wouldn't work for me.
Marty, there's the whores.
And he
in the
stubs
saloon.
his toe. Ah!
It's his like what is
Always
it?
Sunny.
Always Sunny character. Just
Charlie Day as Marty.
Oh my god.
Okay, I'll watch
who
it
would be Biff?
Mac From Always Sunny.
So what if it went a completely different genre? Like it would like turn into comedy essentially. Like
What? You talk about
Where we going?
Cum books all day?
I've seen
We don't
enough
need
hentai
that.
to know where this is going. No. So yeah, what if it went into different genre? For Back to the Future specifically.
I mean, I've seen those like retailered trailers where it's like it's a horror movie or they did one where it's like Jaws is a romantic comedy.
Wow.
Where he's like, I love the
show.
oh, speaking of which, the Venom thing, they're coming out with a Christmas no. Well, yeah, a Christmas.
Deadpool.
No. A Christmas DVD release, and the trailer for the DVD release is pitching it as a romantic comedy between Eddie and the Venom. It's like when two people, and I'm like, this is an official trailer for this. Like these people are like, we don't know how we made all this money. Let's just fucking go on.
Do you know
with
the
it.
after credits in Venom?
Which one? There's two.
The one where you see another character.
Yeah. Have you seen the pictures?
I haven't seen it, but
It
you think
is-
they'll make a sequel?
Yeah. With the money
With-
they
with
made,
him?
they'll make like a fucking quadrilogy. No, the way that the person
Is it-
I don't
is it
care.
red?
It's Carnage.
Okay.
Well, it's a prison cell. He's
People in the pockets.
whatever. It's not. I don't care.
I don't think that's a spoiler.
Come at
That's
me,
like-
bro.
That's one scene.
People
that's
have
an
been
after
wanting
scene.
to see it.
After credits is a spoiler.
But Carnage was my
It is a
favorite,
spoiler.
like symbiote.
Yeah.
By the way.
So they show. I'm gonna spoil this. It's after the credits. He's going to interview because he's like an investigative journalist or some shit, and it's like a prisoner, and it's Cletus. He's like, I've been waiting for you, Eddie, and he's got like the worst fucking haircut. Like it does not look like his real hair. Like it looks piss poor quality.
Yeah.
Like
Like a
really
wig.
bright
like
red.
Nick Nolte's mugshot.
It looks like your serious black worker.
It's like no, the red
It's
is
too
like
bright?
it's too dark.
Oh, okay.
It's like that isn't your natural hair
Yeah.
color. This is like some blood. You got like blood and I don't know. It looks dumb. That was it.
So how do you know he's Carnage? Does it?
His name is Cletus.
That doesn't mean anything
Cletus
to me.
Cassidy.
It means many what?
No, I want to see like the symbiote Carnage.
Okay.
But I bet you people in the movie think, huh?
Yeah, like
Well,
honestly,
that's like what happened when Thanos first showed up in the first.
Not
movie.
me,
but-
not me.
I know.
hey, all I know is the first time that
Is that Hellboy?
Thor came out in like the after credits does not look like the Thor that came out officially in the movies.
Thor?
Sorry.
What are you even talking about?
I was meaning that guy, that one guy.
Thanos?
we were just-
Darkseid.
Thanos. Yes.
He did look different.
Yeah.
I, do
I know he
remember.
did.
Yeah, he didn't look like Josh Brolin.
And you just threw me under the bus. You just helped me out there.
Jumping
knew
ahead
what I
of
was
it.
talking about.
What? He's doing the whole. I don't know who Cletus is.
Well, the thing is, like, I'm really bad with like,
Alter egos.
yeah, ultra. Like, I don't like.
Who's Matt Murdock?
Stop.
Yeah, like those things. I know that's Daredevil, but like, there's ones I don't know. So like Cletus, I wouldn't have remembered, and I would have seen them like,
Oh, when you said you really like Carnage, I thought you knew
No, no,
more
no,
about
like-
him for some reason.
there's things I like. I like
Okay.
Green Lantern. I don't know that much about him. Like more probably so than certain other
Yeah.
heroes. But yeah, Carnage was just one that like visually attracted me. So
I think from what I understand, Cletus is the only person that's ever been Carnage. Like Venom has had many different
Yeah. hosts.
I don't think.
Dude, the whole Venom thing's stupid in the comics.
but with Venom,
God of the symbiotes.
What?
There's a God of the symbiote.
there's-
It gets
Okay,
stupid.
every hero that's been around for or character in comics has been around for so long goes through several weird phases, and occasionally you'll get like a classic story.
is the thing like with Venom? Is that because of the remakes? Is that why there's so many people that like have been Venom, or is that like an actual
No,
story
just-
thing?
Different.
No,
It just goes to different
Yeah,
people.
different writers, different story, whatever.
Yeah. So then that means would that mean that Carnage hasn't been rewritten that often then for it to only have been Cletus?
I guess I
He's
don't.
not,
I don't
like,
read. I
major.
don't think I've read enough stories with him to know.
He's not a
if-
major. I mean, he's major, but he's not major.
I just don't. Yeah, I don't think he's been used as much as Venom has,
Gotcha.
and so it hasn't presented as
Yeah,
many
yeah.
opportunities. Anyway, we're at the 2-hour mark. So
Let's go to 3.
where can people find you?
They can find me at the Fulio 365 on Instagram, and then the Fulio everywhere else.
And soon,
Cold
Cold
Marmalade.
hey,
On
I just want to add, please make Batista Jack in the Cowboy Bebop, the big dude.
Oh my
yeah.
god!
He's like Batista Jack, dude.
And he would become the funniest character, dude.
Yes.
If he did that, there's another person I'd want in that Cowboy Bebop one. I want Keanu as the main guy because
That'd be cool.
He's been actively trying to be getting like a live action thing going for it, and he's like,
He knows kung fu.
I thought, yeah, he did. Well, I think one of the things he's like, I know this is never going to be made, his vision of it, because he's like, this would cost bajillions of dollars visually and all this stuff that he wants to do. So I'm like, I hope they at least consider him.
You can find me remaking Back to the Future at The Last Bosses.
Find me at Kuja Prime. You can find us all at The Weekly DLC. If you have any questions, comments, bring it up at asktheweeklydlc@gmail.com.
Or you can see us at the Game Awards.
Or-
Ooh.
Exactly.
Meet up
Maybe.
right after.
Meet and greets.
If we share our privacy,
we'll be having a meet and greet at the Game Awards.
we'll be giving away dessert recipes.
Without sans come.
The one time I bring it up, you guys get all like, I don't know. Choking on something.
I don't recommend the recipe.
Until next time, we'll
DLC.
You later.